What am I gonna say to open the podcast? Oh, flip it. It's recording already. I didn't see that. My name is Reilly, the anime dad, and we're very excited to have you listening to us and taking time out of your day or having us in your ears while you're driving, walking, running, swimming, cycling, or paragliding. And with me, we have.
The paragliding champion of nowhere, and Bjorvio. And I'm just going to say, if we have any people that are ever out there paragliding listening to us, thank you. You have your support means the highest to us.
Yes! You know what's funny? Did you see that video the other day about the guy paragliding and he saw the dog on the pyramid of Gaza? Or Giza?
No.
Bro, he's paragliding, gets a video, and this pyramid is giant, and there's a dog at the top, like sniffing around, chasing and barking at birds. I
Oh,
don't,
that's crazy. I was listening to a podcast the other day about this woman who was in a paraglider and she got stuck into a storm and it launched her like 32,000 feet into the air and she survived.
that's insane. That's actually insane. It's made me appreciate watching Dr. Stone. Just on a bit of a side note, has made me appreciate the wind and the stuff in the air when they're in that hot air balloon, and how
Hmm.
quick things can change and move. And it just reiterates the fact that I'm not going to be paragliding or in a hot air balloon anytime soon.
No, not unless you give me the Wind Waker from The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, because if I can't control the wind, I ain't going to be doing it.
All right, let's get into our improv questions. They are improv. The answers are improv as well. And would you like to come up with a theme this time?
Ooh, okay, okay. Let's do anime characters that use swords.
Got it. Got it. All right. Well, you wake up with green hair, and you don't know why it happened. Green hair like Zorro. That's why it's in the theme. How did you get green hair?
Because I ate my vegetables. And unfortunately, I found out I was allergic to all of them. And so I accidentally, in order to get all, to make my stomach feel better, I rubbed my stomach with kale leaves and it didn't work. And I rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. But unfortunately, the only thing that ended up working was when I fell asleep. And then I woke up and the kale leaves were on my hair and I absorbed all of the kale from photosynthesis, which apparently I have in my hair. Turns out I have a quirk. Who knew that?
Wow.
And in the process of doing so, they became green.
Amazing. Green hair is the way to go. It's like having a green thumb, but on your head. Great job. All right. What's your question for me?
All right. So you have the ability to travel back to your past and warn everyone that Google is going to take over the world. I guess you could call it a bunch of. Do you give your past self about how to stop the androids from
Mm,
taking over the future? You see where I'm going with that? Future Trunks. Haha. Haha.
very good. That was a good, very, very smart. Very smart. Well, one bit of advice would be to ensure that they destroy all the batteries in the world. Okay. I'm not sure if you're aware, but batteries once destroyed cannot revive themselves. And if all the batteries are destroyed, we will not have any androids. Or and I'm gonna tell everyone to dye their hair purple. If an android is revived by some weird coincidence, they'll see 1,000 trunks and end up committing Sudoku, or not, yeah, yeah, Sudoku,
Yeah.
or playing Sudoku, and that'll automatically end their short circuits, and they'll be fine. So yeah, those are my two options. And can you believe this is improv?
I can't. That's a really positive solution to a really negative problem.
And people will look cool with purple hair. I think we look good.
Except for me, I still have green.
You still have green.
here.
Second question for me, sir. Let's say you are reincarnated as a sword, which is links into what we're talking about soon, and you begin to have a thirst for Gatorade in a country that there is no Gatorade, and in a world that there is no Gatorade. What is your reason for your thirst, and how do you obtain Gatorade?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but if you rub a bunch of kale leaves on your lights. So I need to desperately refuel that after now that my hair's green. But the way that I fix that is I get very, very angry and start screaming at the top of my lungs. And I develop this aura around me. I develop muscles and I get essentially go berserk. So I kind of look like Broly from the Super movie. And then people are so intimidated by me that they give me their Powerade, to which I then exchange for Gatorade, and I throw the empty bottles of Powerade and Gatorade at those that gave me Powerade instead, and said it was almost as good.
Bro, that was very good. You broke up once or twice in it, but it actually sounded real good. And it worked itself out, whatever you did there. All right, what's your second question for me?
All right, so sticking on point with swords, um, let's say that you are in ancient feudal Japan, and not ancient, but feudal Japan, and you find me, and am the um I am the dance Hashira, and you want to learn from me, but you learn some of my dance, but you don't learn all of my techniques, so you modify your own. What do you how good of a mentor am I? And what do you modify the dance Hashira into?
Very good. You're a good mentor. You're a good mentor. If we played Dance Dance Revolution or Dance Dance Revolution, as I say as a South African, um, we'd get 80% score. But I add in a sprinkler because the sprinkler is my signature move, and it will automatically defeat my enemy, which is the androids. So yeah, great question. What's your signature move?
Um Dance breathing. Fourth form. Break.
I
Because
love that, bro.
break dance.
Yeah, very, very good. All right, my final question is um, gonna be, let's say you break five legs and you only have six, and yet use a sword as a rehabilitation stick. How is that sword being used, and what anime character offers you their sword and allows you to actually rehabilitate?
Offers me their sword has to be Tanjiro. I don't think anyone else would just willingly give up their sword just to be like, here, use this as a walking stick. Um, and honestly, it's going pretty good. Nichiren is pretty strong. The only problem being that since I'm not a sun breathing user and Tanjiro breaks his sword all the time anyway, I kind of break my walking stick a lot, and then I have to face an angry old man in a mask charging at me. So that's kind of scary. But on the bright side, both me and Tanjiro have some form of green hair.
True, you still got green hair. I like you sticking with the theme. What is your final question for me?
My final question is, um, so in order, you don't have a sword, but you've learned to make alchemy, and you make a sword out of the things that are around you. The only problem with these swords is, they're kind of frail. They break easily. If somebody, especially that dude that was using one as a walking stick earlier. Um, so my question is, how do you strengthen your sword with alchemy, and do you stay as a metal alchemist?
Very good. Well, no. No, the strongest material in the world. Have you ever got a paper cut?
Several times, yes.
Yeah. I'd make a sword out of paper. I'd be a paper alchemist.
Ooh.
And Imagine me giving someone 1,000 paper cuts with my sword. That'll defeat the majority of people. And then I can make a paper airplane, throw it, jump on it, and then fly to the next destination. And then when I get there, I can use paper as kindling for a fire. So it's a combination of things.
Ooh, that's really smart. That's a really dope form of alchemy. I'm here for it.
All right. Well, we are talking about what today, sir? Other than cool improv.
We are talking about that one time where we were talking about getting reincarnated, but as a specific animal from any anime verse. What animal would you get reincarnated into? And why?
Great question. Great question. And
Thanks, you came up with it.
that's what I'm saying. Amazing question. Whoever came up with that is a genius. Uh, now, there's a lot of trains of thought in this particular discussion, and things might get heated. They might get
Mm-hmm.
heated. Um,
This was much harder than I thought it would be.
it was pretty tough, and I've got a couple of cool ideas. Maybe you can start. What animal would you want to be reincarnated into, and in what anime universe?
Okay. I'm gonna be cool and only do one animal per universe, because otherwise one in particular would be way too easy to just go off of. And so I'll say it first. That time I got reincarnated as a Squirtle. Um,
Yes.
Squirtle's he's my favorite Pokemon. I mean, come on now. I mean, look at him. He's so cute. Um, Plus you get this hard little shell. You're as adorable as ever. You're a water type Pokemon. I mean, all that's great. You get to live in a pretty peaceful life, and then you evolve into Wartortle, you evolve into Blastoise, and get cannons in your back that you can use to help you swim or for offense. I mean, that's incredible. You're basically a volunteer firefighter, whether you applied or not. So I think that's awesome. Plus he's cute, he's adorable, and I don't see a downside to being a Squirtle. There are a lot of Pokemon I see a downside in being, but Squirtle's not one of them.
It's true. Squirtle's a great one. And I think, would you go with Ash, or would you go with Team Rocket, or who would you be a solo Squirtle?
Uh, I'd be like, I could see myself starting a Squirtle squad of my own, but we're just like a team of firefighters, like the in-game Squirtle squad, not like the beginning of the episode Squirtle squad. I think that would be the best way to handle that. Only we'd get paid because, Squirtle Squirtle. And then we can go buy Squirtle things like our own food, so we don't have to go and eat a bunch of leaves. We can eat, I don't know, sandwiches. Is that what they do in Paldea?
I think they do. Um, Great one. That's a really, really good one. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So, I want to be transported into the Dragon Ball universe. And the problem with that was, my thinking was, I need to find an animal that Goku wouldn't eat. Um,
Ooh.
and that limited my options quite significantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose skunk. And that's just
It's
because
not where I thought you were going, but okay.
he doesn't have a taste. I mean, he probably would eat skunk if he had to, but he's got a good sense of smell. I'll be a talking skunk, but potentially as well. And how? I mean, don't tell the truth here. If I what episode of Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super wouldn't be improved with a skunk on Goku's shoulder?
Um, the only one I could think of would be the one where he's driving the cars with Piccolo.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, we've got a talking pig in that show, and he doesn't get eaten. So I think as a skunk, I'd be okay.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised you didn't say Oolong or Corin, but you know what? I'm here for it.
What is next on your list?
Um, so my second one, we're going to go. I know this one's not on yours, so I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. We're going to go to the wrong way to use healing magic, and I would get reincarnated as the cute little blue bear because I love bears and they're cute. And this one seems like it'd be a great adventuring one. He's just a baby, but at the same time, he gets the life of luxury. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't have to do much other than just be a bear, and I get to go on an adventure and do whatever I got. Like, it just seems like an all around jolly good time to be a bear in that universe.
Does he have any powers? I haven't seen that anime.
I don't think at least not in season one. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did later on.
I like that. That's very cool. And that leads me to my next one, which is a sort of bear. So I would like to be Panda in the JJK universe.
Really?
He's gangster. He's cool. He's cute. He's strong. He's handsome for a panda. On a scale of 1 to 10 in regards to his DJ skills, I'd say he's a 7. So he's pretty darn cool. Why did that surprise you?
You want to live in JJK?
I think Sukin is an upstanding guy, and I think we'd be friends, and I think he'd be my subordinate, and I think he, on a scale of 1 to 10, would be a 6 on DJ.
Yeah, I think Panda'd make a better DJ than him for sure.
What would be
Okay,
his what would
okay.
be his what would be his opening song? Let's say on a DJ set. Panda.
Panda or Sukuna?
Give me one for
Um,
each.
hmm. Okay, okay. I can see Panda doing "You're Hot and You're Cold" by Katy Perry,
Yeah, I can jam to that.
and Sukuna would be like, what's that one song that's like, "Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort."
Dum-dum. Suffocation. Yeah, that's a good one. Good choice. Good choice. I've got one more. Have you got one more as well?
Yeah, I got one more.
All right, give it to me.
Okay, okay. I'm kind of stuck between. Well, I guess two, but I was kind of stuck between two. One of them's kind of a runner-up. Um, that I would say the wolf from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Rimuru kind of second command. That one's really
Ranga.
cool.
Ranga is
Yeah, that one's really
gangster.
cool.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna go with actually a creature from Rising of the Shield Hero. Um, and I'm gonna go with a species from oh shoot, what is her name?
Olian, Philo.
Philo. Yes, yes, I would go with one of Philo's species. They look super. They're super cool. Uh, and especially one of them that's like the ones that like are so stinking powerful. Like you can't like that would be so freaking cool just to be one of the like head head ones of the of that. I cannot think of the name of them for some reason.
Philolian. Philolian.
Phiolian. Yes, thank you. Um, oh man, that would be so stinking cool. And especially like Philo has some really like cool abilities and stuff. I don't think I'd be as good at using them as she is, but I mean, it's just she's a really cool character, a very underrated character, and her species has a lot of really cool things going for him.
That's a good choice. And the funny thing is, she wants to always eat her species. She's walking different spots, and she's like, "They look yummy."
That's the one downside.
But great choice. Great choice. Philolian's an awesome choice. All right, my third and final choice would definitely be one of the it would be Chopper from One Piece. He has incredible. One Piece is a great world. I know it'd be a terrible world to live in, but
Yeah.
being Chopper, he's got some great abilities. He's very smart. He's cute. He gets cuddles from Zoro, which is what I want. And even though he looks yummy as a reindeer slash whatever, he's not going to be eaten by Luffy. So he's one of the very few animals that would be eaten by Luffy. So that's why he is on my list. The runner-up was Veldora the Storm Dragon from Slime.
Oh, that one's yeah, that one's a really good choice. I like Chopper though. Plus, you'd get to be part of Luffy's
Hmm.
crew. Like that's like you'd be hanging out with some really cool company. Yeah, you'd almost get your ship would almost sink every other episode or so, but you'd be fine. It'd be fun. And who doesn't want to hang around Zoro and Sanji just cutting it up every once in a while?
Cutting it up. Good choice of words for Zoro. And sticking with the theme of swordplay. Uh, Very good. That's interesting. And if you are listening and you have a better option for someone or where you want to be reincarnated to in an anime or who you want to be, then send it through because I think our choices are probably the best in the world and the best out there, and they will be published in this year's Anime Crunchyroll Awards. But yours might be second best, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think so. I mean, I don't know anything that's gonna beat ours, but hey, you are always welcome to try.
Okay. Well, let's get into our improv for this evening, morning, noon. And if you're paragliding, be careful. All right, this improv uh, can be distracting, and we don't want you flying into any poles or hurting yourself at all. So look where you're going while listening.
And use your
Now,
turn signals.
yeah, the improv is gonna be Bjorvio is gonna be a character from the anime verse, and we're gonna be having a conversation. And every time I say change, he changes his particular character. So he changes who he is, but I remain the same person. And it's going to be a job interview where he's applying to work at Walmart.
All right, I can dig it. Good thing I warmed up.
Hi, sir. So I'm looking forward to talking with you this morning. Thanks for coming in. You're wearing something weird there. Can you explain to me why you chose that outfit?
Oh, certainly. This is my All Might. This uniform is inspired by All Might, and I really wanted to come off as confident as I could be, so I decided I would look like the number one symbol of peace and justice. But hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and this is the story of how I aced this interview and got the job at Walmart. Right?
Not bad. Not a bad start, change. But I don't know what anime is. Yeah, I've heard of my younger cousin watches anime, and I'm not sure what it is. So, I mean, the first thing I'd like to ask you is what's your biggest weakness?
Well, I would say that my biggest weakness is that um I'm too impulsive. I just like to go. Like, I like to use my hands. I like to use my swords when I'm cutting off demons' heads. I like to just go and do things. I don't like to think it through all that much. That's more of Manjirato's specialty than mine.
Interesting. We don't have any demons here, but thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that change. I We do have complaints from customers now and again, customers that are negative, that can be rude. They bring their phones in, they record. Can you give me an example of how you'd handle a difficult customer who's trying to record you and not leave the store?
Well, could you please stop recording me? I don't really want my name and everything posted all over the internet. Oh my gosh, it's gonna get back to my mom. Mexico!
That came through good. Change. All right, not bad. I don't know who Nezuko is either, but that's not a bad handling it. That seems like most people in Walmart would handle it that way. Sorry, that's our customer just entering the store. Um, Now, what would your greatest asset be to other coworkers?
The greatest asset. They get to learn how to work with the number one, the future number one hero.
Okay, well that's true. That's true. Number one hero is the way to go. Um, what? Three more questions to go, and then we're done. Change, obviously. Let's pretend someone's given you a $50 note and they've walked out of the store. But the product they ordered was only $5. what would your next steps be? I think Bjorvio is frozen. Okay, well, I'll have it. I'll have someone else. All right, let's pretend you have a customer gives you $50, and then they walk out of the store. Can you give me an accent, um, and a funny accent, and tell me what you would do?
Okay, let's give this a whirl with a bit of a Scottish flair. Och, so the customer hands you a $50 note and heads out the door. First, I'd count the cash in the till to ensure it's correct. If there's any discrepancy, I'd alert the manager right away. But if all's well, I'd stash the 50 safely and get ready to serve the next customer with a big friendly smile. Aye.
Very good, very good. All right, well, because the audio got taken out by the internet, it's a good opportunity to take us out. We're in the middle of a podcast. Could you take us out and close the podcast with a few statements in another funny accent, and pretend like you're an anime hero, and finish with plus ultra.
With a heroic, booming voice. Dear listeners, as our journey together draws to a close, remember the strength and courage within each of you. Stand tall, face challenges head on, and never forget the power of unity. We thank you for joining us on this epic tale, and until we meet again, stay strong and go beyond. Plus Ultra! Glad you enjoyed that.